What it do, balls? We is back again with the Grind Time podcast. Me and G here again today. We got a nice guest on right here, Team Moss, the man himself, out here doing it big, So we had to bring him on here about time,
Appreciate y'all having me.
Most definitely. But a lot of people know you, and we've known you for a while now in the gym, doing your thing, coaching and everything else. But let the people know a little bit about you, give a little rundown of your credentials. And
All right, so I obviously certified personal trainer. I started out when I moved here just working at Golds for Lighthouse. Eventually, I decided to compete 2021, do my first show, Night of Champions, Chattanooga. 2022. I go to nationals, get my pro card, and just been competing ever since. And then I put, as far as from the coaching bodybuilding side, I put my first competitor, which was Bethany Transformation.
Hey,
Shout out Bethany. That was 2023. And then I put my first men's physique competitor in San Antonio, probably October, November, which kind of kicked things off. And then last year, just everything took off. Like, that's just honestly how it worked. But that's,
little rundown on it and everything else.
Right.
We definitely will hop onto that about winning the pro card, but we're going to wait and everything else.
He asked for the credentials, so I was like, hey, go ahead.
Hey, just slide in there,
IFBB Pro.
You can't just slide past that. But, take us back, like how was growing up, everything, what you've been through, backstory, a little background about you.
All right, so my dad was Army. My mom honestly didn't really work like that, and it was me and my sister growing up. I'm the oldest. It was just me and her at the time, and she's a year and some change younger than me. Now it's 8 of us. My parents split. Growing up, I'll be honest, I didn't have the greatest childhood. It was not to turn the mood of the podcast, but like I did grow up. It was a lot of domestic violence. It was more so my mom doing the domestic violence, and my mom was abusive towards me and my sister. So it going home sometimes was, you never knew what you was going to walk into.
Yeah,
and I think that was probably, it never really changed until I went and left for the Air Force. That's kind of what childhood was like. I played sports. Track was my thing growing up. Started working when I was 12, just kind of, But yeah, for me, it was served 2 purposes. It was to kind of get out of the house because I didn't like being home. But the other part was having old school parents. I know I'm the old head here, right? So old school parents didn't believe in sending you to school for fashion. It was, we send you to school for learning.
Yeah.
It's not a fashion show.
Right,
So
yeah.
I'm dating myself here. We're not finna spend $100 on a FUBU jersey for you. I'm old, right?
Yeah.
So I'm not finna spend $100 for a FUBU jersey for you. And I just remember my mom was talking to me one day. She was like, what kind of stuff do you like to wear? I'm like, well, I want to wear the stuff my friends is wearing. My friends come to school in FUBU. They're wearing Pippins, Iverson. And she was like, it sounds like you need an Iverson job. And I'm like, why did you ask me if that was supposed to be a response? Like, that's literally what she hit me with. And I'm like, well, luckily, at the time, we was in Germany for middle school, and they let us start working at 12. But at that time, you just could be a cart pusher. So the baggers would have to pay you like $3-4 from their tip. You leave with like $20. So as a 12-year-old, if I'm making $20 2-3 times a week, that's not bad. So then once I turned 13, then I became a bagger, and then I started making the money, like the real money. And from that point, I had my Iversons and everything I wanted to buy because I bought my school clothes. My parents didn't buy me nothing else. Again, like if I want to go to the movies, you got money, go pay for it. And that's just kind of, and that's how I, went about it. But I think working that early just kind of, one, it kept me from being lazy and just kind of taught me the value of hard work.
You had to earn it yourself. So you learn at a very young age. It's like me and everything else. It's like I started early being an entrepreneur, just selling stuff, doing everything else in like middle school to high school. So it was like, this nowadays is easier to me because I'm like, I've been doing it for a couple decades now. I'm like, we started way back there. Here I am now and continue to do it. But it's some of those things you don't learn until later on. It's just like, wow, I really got a head start on a lot of things too. It's like there's always a good out of it. Yeah, it sucked. I had to start that early and everything else, but you also escape some things too.
Right. Absolutely.
Yeah, same. My dad had it like because he kind of started like a lawn care business. So, but he had like a riding lawnmower which he never let us use, and me and my twin brother were only allowed to use the push lawnmower. And so during the summer, we would be like, you want to make money? We want to go to this basketball camp. We want to get these snacks. It was mostly snacks for me. The clothes ain't even been an issue for me. But I just knew I wasn't getting it. I took the L once he said he ain't getting it. I was like, all right, I'm not gonna ask anymore. But food, especially at that time when everything wasn't $1 million now. Like $20, you can go to Dollar General. You can get that's 20 items you get at that point. You know what I'm saying? Like
Times was different.
As like a 12-year-old, bro, that's a good day right there.
Oh, I'm saying.
And so, but we would the main thing we just had to like pay him back for like the gas and stuff like that. So we would like go around the neighborhood, and you think like 11, 12, like with push lawnmowers and just walking up the doors like. Would you like to cut your grass? Which is looking back, it's kind of crazy. Like if 11 or 12-year-old walked up with a lawnmower right now, I would definitely let them cut my yard. Just because just the fact that they came up and asked, I'd be like, yeah, they gotta do a good job. But but still crazy that we were just like, yeah, let's go do it. We need to make this money. But yeah, that kind of stuff, you never think about how important that stuff is until you're a lot older and you're like, okay, like that's why your work ethic is this way. And so
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah. Early beginnings and stuff like that's most definitely it. But also I'm like my dad was military too, so that's one thing I know is just that's a different type. I mean, we all been there, all three of us. That's one thing is like I could say like it's a different type of training and everything else you got to move differently with. But also getting into that, it was so working early. You was in Germany, you said, and everything else. So like, is that where you grew up originally?
So I was in Germany for all of middle school. So I was 6th, 7th, 8th grade. I just in 5th grade alone. So we had a period. I guess I got to go backtrack. My dad joined the military. I was like maybe 5. Of course, he did that first 4-year enlistment. Between then, we were in Germany for 1st, 2nd grade, and then Augusta, Georgia. My dad got out. He's like, I'm not feeling the military. Like it's over with. But sometimes. And if y'all got military friends, they'll tell you the same. There's a lot of people to get out without plans. My dad did not have a plan. He just knew he wanted to get out. So we went through that period of where we struggled financially. So we were kind of bouncing around. We lived with family for a little bit until he could, like, I guess, find his thing. And eventually it would turn out he'd end up going back in the military. So that's how we ended up back in Germany again for all of middle school. And then for my freshman, sophomore, and half my junior year, I was in El Paso. So lived there, and then I finished out high school in Augusta. And then from there, I went in the Air Force. So,
So like, I bet that you had a different perspective of life too, being out of the country and stuff like that. I mean, a lot of us don't really know that type of military life and everything else, moving all the time and stuff and growing up. So like, how was that, like being in Germany, then coming to El Paso? And
it's always, you went through this period, right? Like when you first move somewhere, especially being a boy, right? People want to try you, right? You go through that period, like, okay, man, is he tough? Can he fight? Like, so you go through that period, okay, having to prove yourself, like, okay, cool. I'm cool, but I'm not a punk. Like we can get busy if we need to, but I'd rather not. And I was kind of, so after you go through that and they see, okay, cool, he's one of us, he plays sports, you're fine. And I think just being in Germany, like you just realize, even just from the food to everything, it's just the cultural differences. Because I believe over there, like drinking, like they drink beer for dinner, kids included. Like I guess I'm assuming probably middle school age onward, and it's not frowned upon. It's not like nobody, like if we said we was cracking a beer open with our kids, DCS is showing up. Like, all right, in the moment, we're gonna do a welfare check around here and figure out what's going on. But you just learn so much about like different cultures, and over there they got all the castles. And I'll tell anybody, if you're looking to go somewhere for the winter, their markets and it's like winter wonderland. Like it's probably one of the most beautiful things you'll see as far as places you'll go for the wintertime. nothing beats Germany and Christmas. Like I just or Europe. I would just say Europe because it probably looks like that everywhere. But at that point, you got the snow. That's when I used to like snow. I don't like snow now. But back then, you know, I'm a middle school kid. I'm 12. Like, just snow everywhere. Like, like it's nice. Like now I'm like, bro, I don't. Yeah, like now I'm stuck in my neighborhood. Like, I can't go nowhere up this hill.
I'm not trying to go make a snowman right now.
But yeah, it was cool. And then you go again, you move again because Army, you move every 2-3 years. Air Force will keep you somewhere forever. And that's really the big difference. Anybody that's got Air Force parents, that person probably stayed at that base anywhere between 5 and 7 years. Army is guaranteed 2-3 years you're moving. So the biggest downfall is, like, especially because you're in sports, you got your team, you're doing track, football, whatever, and then you're having to uproot, and then, okay, well, now you got to finish up your high school somewhere else. Especially if you had a little girlfriend at the time and all that. Like, you start to get, like, okay, now I got to do this all over again. And it's just kind of, you just keep restarting. But you kind of learn to just adjust and, you know, eventually things will fall into place. Like, it takes a second. Like, you got to get used to a whole group of people. You're in a whole different region. Like, when I went to Augusta, it was like a whole different world because, like, in Texas, you would fight, cool, fight's done. Augusta, you seeing somebody get stomped out in the hallway 10-1. And it was like, bro, this is week 1 for me. I'm like, bro, I don't know nobody here. I'm like, I don't want no problems. I don't have no help. Like, I just used to stay to myself. Like, I wouldn't say nothing to nobody because I'm like, bro, you're not finna catch me in the hallway like that. So it was just like, and then, but with them though, it wasn't done there. Like, somebody's house was guaranteed to get shot up. And that was always the problem. Like, Texas, like, we would get in our little fights, shake hands. That's it. Here, it could result in somebody's life. So it's just like, it was a whole different transition, you know, depending on where you move. And I didn't think Augusta, Georgia was like that. Like, you think it's just, that's the home of the Masters. Everything's good. But the Masters is closer to, like, I think closer to Charleston, South Carolina, like up that way, the good part of Augusta.
The good part,
North Augusta, I think. So if you not in North Augusta, it's a little bit different. But yeah, it's all adjustments.
Yeah, I definitely learned that. Little sister is playing in college volleyball down that way and everything else. So we went a couple years ago and everything. And I'm just like, it's not what I thought it was. 'Cause all I knew was the Masters and everything else. Now I'm like, we definitely in the hood right now. This is I'm watching everything. I'm like, here we are in this rental car. I'm like, they looking at us like a lick. I know they are, bro. We need to get up out of here. I was like, no, Well, yeah, I learned that real quick, but we'll move forward now. Like, you joining the Air Force now, what was that decision for? Like, why'd you? I know several people was like, if it was that or jail or, you know, a lot of things.
Back then, they used to have a thing where, like, if you were getting in trouble, you went to court. Like, okay, you either going to military or you going to jail. So, like, my sweet mate, once I got to tech school, that was him. He was, hey, go to jail, you go to Air Force. He went Air Force. For me, I just didn't want to go to college at the time. I was over school. Like, I did enough in school so I could stay eligible for track. That was it. Like, my grades were trash. Like, it's just like, it was no, like, I did enough. And I'm like, once I got to my senior year or summer going into my senior year, I'm like, I don't have college in me. It's not time. At that time, I would have swore I was going to retire from the military, do my 20. I was never going to go to school. You asked me at that time, that was my answer. So I didn't want to go to school. So I was like, all right, well, I went back to El Paso to hang out with a friend of mine for the summer, and his dad was Army. So he took us to the recruiter. We took our ASVAB, and back then, they was talking about a $20,000 bonus for the Army. You tell me at 17 that you're gonna give me $20,000? Where do I sign? That was where I was at with it. Like, where do I sign it, and when can I sign this? And at the time, my dad was in Iraq. My mom was devastated. She wanted me to go to college because she knows I'm smart, but she used to get mad at me because I didn't apply myself ever. So she wanted me to go to college. I went and switched from college prep to tech prep so I could graduate on time. My math was bad. Like, to this day, don't hand me nothing with math and numbers. Do not. After school, I told them, I was like, if y'all ever make me teach math, I gotta leave. Like, I cannot do this. So I switched to tech prep so I could graduate on time because I failed freshman year. I failed the second half of Algebra 1. I only passed geometry because I was cheating, but I at least showed up. Hey, for after school stuff. So, but I knew if I showed up for after school stuff with me running track because I was good, they would make sure I was good. So I would show up for a little bit. I did my thing. My junior year, I failed that whole year of algebra, and for college prep, you need 4 years of math.
Yep.
Go ahead, put me on that tech prep plan so I can get that 3 years of math and graduate on time. And now at that point, I was so discouraged with school because everything else I knew how to do, but math, like I was the only class I tried in, and I'm still getting D's and F's, and I'm like,
That really
and
would
it's
discourage you right there, like putting in all that work.
Bro, and back then it was like your parents didn't actually teach you; they just yelled at you for not knowing. So like if I'm gonna go home and just get cussed at, why am I bringing this home? Like I'm just gonna start bringing my work home altogether. Because if you're gonna cuss at me anyway, at least I'm not gonna be frustrated from not doing the work. Like
Exactly.
I'm gonna just whatever. So that was my thing. I went in the military, and initially I was supposed to be a dental assistant. I took my, because your ASVAB, for those that never took the ASVAB, it tells you, your aptitude and where you score high at. I scored high enough to get any medical job I wanted.
Wow.
But the problem was back in 2004, you were waiting a year to go to basic training for a medical job. Again, I told you I didn't have a good home life, so I was trying to hurry up.
Get up out of there.
Yeah. So I went in what's called open general. And I get the basic, and I'm in denial, right? Because I go to chapel just because I'm trying to get away from the building. I go to chapel, go to church, and dude was pointing around, what job you got? I told him open general. He's like, security forces. So that's military police for those who don't know. I'm like, nah, I ain't going to be security forces. I get my third week, and they made me take I failed my hearing test at MEPS, so they made me take my hearing test again. And it was like, if you fail it, you're going to be a load master. What they didn't say was, we need security forces. It don't matter what you score on this hearing test. Right. I tried to fail the hearing test. I was like, I don't want to be a cop. Like, I'm cool on that.
Nope.
I was hearing the beep. I'm not hitting the button. I click it sometimes. I walk out the booth. He's, oh, you're good. I was like, I tried not to make a face, but I'm like, bro, there's no way. Like, I purposely tried to fail this. And you're telling me I passed? But that's because we were going to Iraq so heavily, they needed people. So, yeah. That's kind of, that's how
they said, no, you're good.
Yeah, well, yeah. He's like,
I'm good.
Like, bro, what? Like,
Hold on, wait a minute.
I didn't touch his button half the time.
I know I failed it. How you gonna lie to me?
Bro, that's how the military will do you. They don't care.
Will,
whatever their need is going to trump whatever you feel like doing or whatever you want to do.
You thought you was gonna finesse the system. Now we got the
Yeah.
system
Oh, yeah,
finessed already.
Like,
you play in the house.
Yeah.
So like,
man,
how long did you end up doing?
I did 9 active. I did 9 active years. It became a lot. Now, here, I can't even complain. My first duty station was Panama City. Oh. So I was stationed. So as an 18-year-old, you tell me I'm going to Panama City, Florida. I'm like, yes, okay, cool. But I got there August, January. I'm on my way out the door to Iraq, and you learn so much just in the deployment training for it, and even leading up to it, because they had pulled us in for a meeting, and they were like, "Oh yeah, get your wheels together," and I'm like, bro, what? Get your wheels together? I was like, oh, get a wheel together? I don't have nothing to give anybody. I don't have nothing in my room. I don't even have a PlayStation. All I got is my Honda that I came in here with and a couple of sneakers. But you think if somebody tells you get your wheel together and you're 19, you already like, bro, am I not coming back? You just kind of start thinking of everything. I'm like, bro, I haven't even lived my life yet. Like I just became an adult, and I'm finna head over to Iraq. And I really don't know why I'm going. I just know what our mission is, but I don't know why I'm going. And so deployed, I was going from January to like September that year. September. That was 06. 07, I'm out the door again. I go to Kuwait, which was cool. That wasn't a bad one. Kuwait is cool. 09, I'm going most of that year because I'm in Iraq a second time. And then 2011, I'm gone most of that year because I'm in Afghanistan. So it's just like I had touched ground on my 4th deployment before I hit my 6-year mark. So at this point, I'm like, I have a daughter, and I'm like, bro, I can't keep doing this. Like, and if I'm going to keep doing this, I got to find a safer way to do it and make the money I can make from it because, overseas contracting was a thing where you do the same job, but you're working for a contractor making double the money. So that was kind of my thinking as I'm getting close to the end of my career. And then I finished out my last 2 years as an instructor for our career field. So I'm teaching everybody that comes from basic. I'm teaching them how to be cops, and then they go to their base. That was, in a nutshell, that was my military career.
So yeah, that's something. But yeah, I hang around a lot of people that has either just recently got out, been in, or something. I'm like, I don't know how I keep getting attracted to all these people military, and the ones that just getting out, like just literally, I'm like, I had a couple people just get out in the last couple years, and I'm just like, how do y'all keep all finding me? Tap out. So I'm sitting here learning all the ins and outs and everything else, and they're like, Matt, have you ever joined? I'm like, no. Yeah, I just know enough people going through all these things and everything else, but it's like it's a lot.
It's almost like you can tell, like, cause I'm from Clarksville, so military town. So I can almost kind of, I'm not gonna say I can tell when somebody's either like from military family or like they were in the military. It's just like little, like just the way you like people speak. It's very like everything's to the point. It's very blunt. Like we're not gonna talk around a point. It's always very like this.
There's no bush.
Usually I'm like, okay, like where are you from? Like what's your? And then usually somehow military comes up. I'm like, there it is. Boom. All right. Now we can go like Ian. That's exactly yep.
You can spot him. You definitely can spot him. It's not hard at all.
I know, and I try to explain this to people. I'm like, I don't know how you're going to get this, okay? You think there's the bush and most people beat around it. He's ripped that out years ago, and he's just going to tell you what it is and keep going with his life, okay? He does not care about this. He's thinking about, will it affect him years from now? No. Okay, then. No, he's going to tell you what it is and move on. And that's how a lot of the people are. It's just like you hit those experiences and the things you've been through in the military, it changes your world perspective on things and stuff that normal people struggle with day to day. You're just like, it's nothing, it's not life or death. Like I could die if I make the wrong step, or something like that. And
it's like I got to get here now. Like I don't have time to
chit chat and patter around.
We got to get here.
It's like they said move, we move. There's no second guessing it, no thinking about it, just go and everything. So then what after you getting out, everything, got your daughter, what got you into the coaching side and into the fitness world for real like this now?
Okay, so we gotta go back to my active duty time. So 2010, like I said, I'm still stationed in Florida at the time, and there was who I call my mentor. Like his name is Randy, and this dude was like huge. Like I didn't know anything about bodybuilding. I'm just like, I've never seen anybody that big in the military just walking around. Right. But he was super humble, and that's what like he wasn't arrogant. Like he was the big guy that everybody talked to. That was his role in the gym. Yeah. And for whatever reason, our base gym, they had just built it brand new. They were using contracted personal trainers for the gym, which is almost unheard of on a military base. That doesn't happen. So I kept bugging him. I was like, hey, when you gonna let me work for you? When you gonna let me come train? He's like, you get your personal training cert, I got you. And at that point, I'm like, okay, cool, I need to finish. So I started my cert, but right before that, because we were cops, we worked with the fire department. So a lot of the emergency service stuff we connected on, because fire department here, we're sitting in our chair. And you rarely will find a fat firefighter. You just don't. All they do is just eat and train and work out. And these dudes are just sitting around. They're sitting in big. They're eating milk. At the time, we didn't call it meal prep. They just eating healthy leftovers. I'm looking at our side. They throwing back monsters, them tornado, taquitos or whatever they're called.
Exactly.
That's how the cops was eating. You just monsters and tornadoes. So I started asking the firefighters questions. I'm just picking their brain. At this point, I'm already working out, but I'm like, I'm not fully maximizing. Like, you know what I'm saying? You could tell I worked out a little bit, but I started picking their brains. Like, and I guess I kept asking them so many questions. It was like, hey, you can go to the education center and they'll pay for one free lifetime certification. Go get your personal training cert. I was like, they'll pay for that? He was like, yeah. My next day off, I'm at the education center. Which one do I go with? And he was like, well, you got ISSA or USSA? I didn't know what ISSA. I didn't even do any research. I just went there straight to them. I was like, USSA, cool, take it. And so I started reading and getting it together. And so I got my certification and I go back to Randy. I'm like, Randy, I'm good now. When can I start? He was like, I got you. He's like, just give me a cert and we'll get the ball rolling. I exaggerate not. The next day, our UDM, unit deployment manager, comes in. He's like, hey, Moss, we might need you to roll out. I was like, bro, what? I'm like, bro, I'm just getting this personal training thing, and I just got into a back office job because I was working flight, doing the 12-hour days and all that. So now I'm in a back office spot where I'm at a desk, and I'm getting my weekends, holidays off. Bro, I've been back here 2 months, and I'm already got to go again. But what happened was one of the geniuses in our squadron decided to go to the dental clinic. And he had, what was that synthetic weed at the time? I can't
K2.
remember. No,
it
wasn't called. It was whatever it was called. He goes to the dental clinic and reaches in his pocket and it falls out on the floor. Like, bro, like, first off, what would make you? Yes, what would make you take that to the dental clinic?
Right.
Like, what were you gonna do with this in this chair? So once he got caught, you already know they rounded up about 13 people. Mm-hmm. And it may not have been 13, but it was like 6, we'll say 6 to 10. And they all got put out of the military. So they were all supposed to deploy, so they needed people to backfill at the last second. So I didn't ever get to work for Randy. Because then when I come back from Afghanistan, they throw me on night shift. So I'm riding the night shift train until I get orders to San Antonio. Get to San Antonio, I'm on instructor duty, so we got weekends, holidays off. I'm like, cool, I really want to get in this training thing, so I'm going to Planet. Planet wouldn't hire me. Well, the thing to understand about Planet, for anybody that doesn't know, once upon a time, you didn't have to be certified. Mm-hmm. You just had to make people feel good while they worked out. Like, I showed them my personal training shirt. He's like, oh, that's nice. And I guess I made a face. He was like, oh, well, what I mean is, we don't require our personal trainers to have certs. I was like, oh, all right.
That ain't what they're looking for.
Right.
So that whole business model is get you to sign up and not show up. That's all that is. That is the whole business model.
I'm just like, oh, okay. Like, I was stunned. I'm thinking I'm doing something here, and I could have just walked in off the street and like, hey, man, can I be a trainer here? And
right.
Oh, yeah, cool.
You was overqualified. You just didn't know it.
So I ended up going to a spot called Blast Fitness. It is not a lot of them in the States. Like, most of them might be closed down at this point. So I go to a spot called Blast, and I don't really know the in and outs of working in a gym. Mm-hmm. I just know he's telling me, like, the personal training manager was like, oh, well, you can make, like, he's telling me $18 an hour. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. That sounds good. Mm-hmm. So then I guess he really didn't know how much money I was supposed to get paid. So I'm starting to train. I'm getting these clients, and I feel like that's when I found what I was supposed to be doing. Like, I went this whole time doing this military stuff because I had to, and I really didn't know anything else. Mm-hmm. But then once I started training people, I'm like, bro, I'm up early on a Saturday morning, and I'm not mad about it. Like, I'm going to train clients, and I'm like, bro, like, this is my thing. I found it. Mm-hmm. So the down part was, they didn't pay me for like the first month. I'm like, I'm having to ask for my paycheck. I'm like, hey, I've been here a month. I got all these clients. Can I get paid? And it was like pulling teeth. And then when I got my paycheck, I was devastated because I realized I really wasn't making 18 or whatever he said. It was like 7 a session or whatever. And I'm like, so it kind of, I was like, bro, like, I really liked it here. Mm-hmm. You lied to me. Like,
you gonna finesse me, dog.
Right. Oh. So that was the end of my gym thing. So I ended up going to Kuwait. I'm doing contract security over there. So at that point, one of my friends, who would eventually become my friend, she was like, yeah, I'm looking for a trainer and blah, blah, blah. I was like, I can get you. Like, right. I'll get you going. But I knew at that time I'm just getting started. I can't charge her a lot because I don't have a body of work to show, hey, I've took this person from here to here. Mm-hmm. So I basically, low-key, was training her for free. But I had to be able to prove that, hey, I can do it, because everybody else sees it, then everybody else is going to be on board.
Yep.
So I started doing it on my own, and she started getting, back then, it was just, they wanted legs and glutes. That was the thing. So I had to figure out, okay, how do I get her these glutes? How do I get her these legs? Got them. So now I'm training like coworkers' moms, like all type of stuff. Like it picked up, and it was something I was doing on the side though, because I'm doing 6 days, 12 hours out in the Kuwaiti sun, like 110 plus degrees. And at that time, I was going to school. I decided I was going to go to school. I'm going to school for my bachelor's, and I'm training these people. So that's kind of what kicked it off, because I'm doing it on my own. Fast forward, eventually I would go to Afghanistan doing the same contract work. Then I start my website. But at that time, it was just people I knew. Like it wasn't, I didn't have people I didn't know that was coming to me. It was like all my friends that just wanted to support me at the time. And I'm sitting there, I'm, bored. I need something to do. So I started kind of just doing the online training thing from there. But it wasn't doing anything. Like it was just kind of like I trained my friends and, and that was that. And it's hard to promote because I'm in Afghanistan and I really wasn't in the States. Like, I left my car with my dad, but otherwise I had no presence in the States. I really, you know what I'm saying? I really wasn't. He was in Cali, so I would come there for a little bit, and then I would go see my daughter and then do all my other stuff. So that's what got me started. And then, like I said, once I moved here, I started working at Gold's over on Old Fort for Lighthouse. And like I said, actually at my first stint, it was over with fast. I wasn't making any money. I had never been at a point where I tried to do personal training full time. And that's when you really understand that in most commercial spots, it's not designed for the trainer to be able to take care of themselves. Like in most places. Now, if you got somewhere and you got a good thing going, then embrace it, because that's not the reality. I was working at Lighthouse and I was going all the way to Hermitage working at Planet Fitness. Planet Fitness was paying me $13.30 an hour, but the expectation was, now mind you, all my classes are full because they was happy to have me there. So it wasn't a time I didn't have a downtime. Like I was training all day long. They want you to sit down, write out the plan for somebody, write out nutrition, all that, all this stuff I'm doing for $13 an hour. So I'm making like $330 a week. Bro, I can't live off of this. I'm out here work. It's crazy. Bro, they finna take my car from me. Like, I can't live off of this. So then that's kind of, and I walked away from training. I stopped. I'm like, bro, I can't, like, as much as I love it, it's not loving me back. Like,
no, you're not making
paying the bills.
It's not paying the bills.
Yeah.
So I stopped doing it. Then I went to the post office for a little bit, and then boom, I started a job. I finally get my degree starting to wrap my degree up, and I get a teaching job at an alternative school, and then the pandemic happened. So that point, I'm not training anybody. I'm still retired from it. Like, I'm not doing this training stuff no more. And then out the blue, an old client calls me. He's like, hey, are you still training? I was like, nah, I don't do that no more. He's like, well, I'm needing a trainer. I want to go outside and do something. And I really liked him, so that's what made me like, okay, cool, I'll come back. So then I'm over at the fountain area. I'm over there training at that park. Then I start getting clients. And I'm running ads on Instagram, and people are starting to contact me. I'm like, okay, this is cool. Like, all right, like, and then as the pandemic, everything's opening back up. Reddick hits me up from Lighthouse. He's like, man, I got a full roster for you. I was like, bro, I just started at this school. Let me see what she's on right now, because the principal might be like, I want you to stay here to this time. And I was like, let me fill it out. If I'm cool, then I'll come back. She was cool, so I started back at Lighthouse again. And I got a full roster of people, and I'm just still doing the lifestyle thing. And it wasn't, honestly, I didn't start the competitive coaching thing until after I got my pro card.
Most definitely, it's nice. That's also what I'm going through. It's like I I got like maybe 8 more chapters or something like that left on getting my CPT stuff and everything else and training wise and everything. I've been slowly working on it throughout this year. I mean, this year has literally be like 1 week. I'm like, oh yeah, I get to sit down, let me do some work, knock out some chapters. And then the next week, like this past week has just been go, go, go. I sit down for 2 seconds. I look down, I'm like, I need to head to the gym. Hey, I need to head here. Like, hey, so-and-so's hit me like, all right, let me head that way now. And I'm just like, I got to do 1 chapter. I'm like, I'm just trying to get this over with. When I signed up for it, I'm like, all right, I'm going to knock this out in the first couple months. I'm like, this is my first year. Like, I took off. I'm like, I ended up going parting ways with the job I had. I haven't worked all year. I'm like, I'll have all the free time now. I don't got to work. I'll be able to just knock this stuff out. I have not finished it yet. I'm normally the one of the schoolwork stuff is like, I get it done, get it over with, don't think about it. No, it has not been this way, but I've enjoyed the journey. I've already got a couple of clients I've been helping and everything else. It's been going real nice. And I've enjoyed it. It's just embracing it. Just like this, I got pushed out. I'm like, here it goes. You know, things weren't doing good at the business I was at. He's like, hey, look, I'm about to let you go. He's like, I might call every now and then. So every now and then I might go in for a day or help out and stuff like that. And it's like, it's a little bit of income whenever I randomly need it or something like that. But it's literally just been started training, starting to do it more. And I'm like, I'm starting to see and understand like, all right, look, I don't want to charge you this much, but I need to charge you this much because how much work it actually goes into it, like building these programs and all this and stuff like that. And it's just like, it's a lot more than people think it is, where we keep it simple for you so you don't have to do all this hard work. You just follow the plan and everything will go smoothly, I'll say.
That's the key. Follow the plan.
Yup. Trust the process, dog. Trust it. So it's like, so we see how you got into it. So let's talk about these, these shows before getting the pro card. Like now, like it was bang bang, just here you are, doing the show. How was that like?
So I'm at Gold still at the time, and then I see Napoleon in there. Mm-hmm. Again, I'm still new to Tennessee. I know. When I tell you I didn't know anything about bodybuilding, I knew nothing about bodybuilding, right? I had no clue. I just see Napoleon walking around, and he low-key was, at the time, was a celebrity at Gold's. Like, people were stopping to talk to him, and he's snapping pictures and giving hugs. I'm like, who is this guy? Like, but his demeanor was kind of like mine, so I'm like, okay, cool. I was like, once I decided to make that decision, I was like, all right, well, I need a coach because I don't know anything about the sport at all. Right. So I talked to Napoleon, and what I liked about him was he didn't try to sell himself. It was more like, hey, if you're going to get a coach, this is what you need to look for, blah, 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 blah. I said, all right, I'll let you know. So I go and I talk to one more person. Anybody that knows Dion, the original Titans mascot, I'll talk to Dion. I like Dion. So when I say this, it's not, he didn't seem interested, right? He didn't seem like he really was trying to he was like, it was real, it was a real brief conversation. I'm like, all right, well, cool. Appreciate that.
Keep it moving.
Yeah, let's go ahead this way. So I hit Napoleon up and I was like, all right, let's do it. And he's like, what show you want to do? I was like, Night of Champions. Now, mind you, Night of Champions was October 2021. I'm telling him this like the third week of June. I tell him the third week of June, I'm like, hey, he's like looking, he's like, you want to do a show in October? I was like, yeah, I got it. He was like, why do you want to compete? I was like, I just want to try it. I'm like, I know it's not going to be easy, but why not? Like, I was like, I'm not going to waste your time. Like, I'm going to do what I need to do. And I told him, I was like, and he'll even tell you, I was like, we're gonna do big things together. I told him that out the gate. And oh man, them first couple weeks, I ain't even gonna lie to you. Like, okay, I gotta do cardio now. Like, all right. So I gotta eat egg whites twice a day. Like that first week, I was over the food.
What did I just sign up for?
Man, yeah. Like after I'm sitting Saturday night, I'm eating egg whites and spinach. Like, I never just ate straight up egg whites. And I didn't realize how bad straight up egg whites can be.
Yo, that yolk make a difference.
Yeah.
Bro, I'm sitting there like dry heaving, like trying to eat. I hit Napoleon up Monday. I was like, bro, I don't complain a lot. How do you eat all these egg whites? He's like, you could drink it, bro. I thought about it. I went right in, started pouring into my shaker cup, and I started drinking it. So cool.
Get a little chaser, your water. Yep.
That's how I started taking it down. Like, cool, I'll start drinking it. So then I still wasn't doing the cardio. The cardio was still, I didn't find my rhythm. It took me a few weeks. So I was still, so at this point I'm in the Guard. Like I'm in the Air National Guard, and we end up going to Bulgaria because they got some like state partnership where we go and we teach their guys how to set up security for their own base. So it was at that point, I'm like, I have nothing to do for 2 weeks other than outside of work. So now I finally started getting my rhythm. I started getting downstairs. I hopped on that Stairmaster, started doing the cardio, and then that's how I found my rhythm. So once I got back home, it just carried over. So then I'm finally locked in and doing what I need to do. So we get to, now I would say, if we're being realistic, I did about 90% of what he said. And I say 90 because I was at alternative school at the time. And it's hard being the teacher and the bouncer in your classroom. So I'm having to break up other people's fights and like all that. So I'm stressing. So I'm just eating just Jolly Ranchers, like
Popping them.
Like I'm talking like pocket full of wrappers, like just eating them all day. So that was probably my worst thing I was doing in prep. But so we get to show date, and I took, like I said, you know, even after getting adjusted and all that. So even with a 16-week prep, I took 4th in both my categories, which I was kind of upset about. Then I was like, well, I really didn't do everything he told me to do. So maybe it could have went different. But the problem was, it wasn't the conditioning. Them guys just had bigger backs than what I had. So it wasn't, I was up there out of shape. Like, I looked great. But once we turned that back shot, they had the thickness in their lats and stuff that I didn't have. So it got me, but I was like, okay, I actually like bodybuilding. Like, I can do this. And then I was talking to Napoleon again, and I'm like, bro, what is the chances of me going pro naturally? He was like, I know one. I was like, oh, okay. I was like, so the odds aren't in my favor, is what I was thinking. And then I went back and asked Randy, and he was like, I don't know nobody that's done it. So I was like, all right, so what is my chance? Like, I really, and it's not for anybody that's sensitive. I'm not opposed to PEDs. My dad had a stroke at 33 and was in great shape. So certain health things that I don't want a chance. That's why I don't. I'm not one of those snobs like, oh, you cheated. Like, you cheated. Like, no, that's not who I am. I just don't want to die. Like, so,
I just want to live, you know.
So I don't. And I'm like, so at this point, I'm 35 doing my first show. And I'm like, he's like, you know, I think we both came to the conclusion, like, I can't beat these young guys out that's running everything they can run. I can't beat these guys out at junior nats. So he's like, let's go to Masters Nationals. I'm like, he's like, compete against guys your age. I was like, you know what? Let's do it. So I went to New Jersey because that was when we pulled out of Afghanistan, and all the Afghans that were misplaced, they were in certain places throughout the world. So they had some in Europe, and then they had some in New Jersey. So they sent us to New Jersey while they were processing them in and figuring out where they was going to put them. At this point, I just started getting serious. Like, I'm in the gym 2-3 hours a day. I'm doing the training. I'm doing the posing. I'm doing all of it, knowing July 2022, I'm finna take my chance at this pro card. So I get back. That's over. I'm back, you know, here, and I'm just training. And I'm pushing myself, and I'm not missing a beat. And I get to Pittsburgh. I start, like, initially when you go, you know what I'm talking about. When you look at check-ins, you start looking around, who's there. And I'm looking at everybody else, and everybody else seem like they about that wide and is that big. And I'm like, bro, like, who am I finna go up against? I'm like, bro, like,
my class.
Yeah, I was like, God, I hope these are bodybuilders. Like, they gotta be classic. Like, please don't let them be men's physique. So I'm just glancing around. I'm like, bro, this is not going good for me, man. Like, this is going to go real bad, real fast. I was like, well, I'm here, and I had a great look. So I'm like, okay, well, I don't know. Maybe I'll wake up tomorrow and feel a little different. And I woke up, show day, and I'm like, oh, I'm feeling good. I got my music going. I'm just kind of still looking around. And I'm like, I see one guy, this Brazilian dude. And I'm like, bro, me and him about the same height. I'm like, well, I'm finna be runner-up because I can't beat that. Like, I was like, I cannot beat him. And so we get backstage, and as the room starts clearing out, I don't see the Brazilian dude. So I look around.
Like, oh,
yeah.
okay.
So I'm looking around. I'm looking around at what's left. I'm like, bro, I could
got
really
this.
pull this off. So then my confidence shot up, and I'm like, I got a chance.
Yep.
So you get out there, we run through our initial comparison, we come back, and it was like 9 of us in our category. So they just bring us all 9. Mm-hmm. And we didn't even get set up good. And they pull TJ. They immediately, if you go watch my video, we barely got, our expediter barely put us in our spot. They pull TJ, move him straight to center stage. I'm like, oh, okay.
I did.
But see, but what people don't tell you is sometimes when these judges, now he had a great look. So I'm not saying he looked great. Mm-hmm. But sometimes when the judges recognize you, it gets you a little extra looks that you may not get otherwise. This is my first time on a national stage. I've done one amateur show. Nobody knows who I am. Mm-hmm. So we're up there. They get to moving people around. I still hadn't moved yet. I'm like, all right, well, I guess top 5 ain't bad. Because at this point, I'm in 5th. And then I'm standing there. I'm holding my pose. Next thing I know, my number gets called. And then they swap me out with TJ. And I'm like, bro, I just got to hold this together. I got to be somewhere close to the center. I was like, I just got to hold it together. Hold it together. It's all right, thank you. And then, TJ's talking to me. He's like, oh, man, you did this in front of Tyler. He's like, I just heard you say backstage that this was your first national show. I was like, yeah. And then he brings up Tyler again. I'm like, oh, yeah. When he walked away, I'm like, bro, who the fuck is Tyler?
Yeah.
That's how how new I was to the sport. I didn't know who Tyler Mannion was at the time. I'm like, who the fuck is Tyler? So, and then we came back for finals, and I pulled it off. And yeah, so that's literally how it all went.
It's wild to think. It's just like, I know so many people that be like, man, Matt, I'm like, I've been just found myself around these people. I'm like, I don't know who they are, but let me go be nosy on Instagram for 2 seconds. Hold up. I'm like,
it's that guy in the corner that's like with the, that makes sense. Okay.
Matt, you didn't know who you just talked to? I'm like, nah, I just had a great conversation with a cool guy. But I mean, he must be somebody because everybody keep trying to holler at him, but you just sitting there talking about everything else in life and stuff like this. It got going. I'm just like, oh yeah, he done won a couple Olympias and everything else. I'm just like, that was my whole Arnold experience though. I'm like,
that's how Knox was. Like after the finals, there was like, this guy was like, oh yeah, you did really good up there. I'm just thinking, oh, it's another big guy that's in here. And then like they'll follow me, and then I look, I'm like, IFBB Pro. Da, 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 da. I'm like,
yeah, I am a rookie. I don't know nothing.
I don't know. So I was like that one because I didn't know like this is how far away I was from bodybuilding. I think it was one of the workshops at Olympus, and Brandon Curry was there. He walks up to the Grindszn table. What's going on, Matt? I'm thinking, oh, he's a big dude that just goes here. Friend of Matt. And he's like, I was like, how's it going, man? Matt goes, bro, that's Brandon Curry. I was like, that sounds familiar. He goes, yeah, he was like Mr. Olympia. Like, I was like, oh, okay, cool. Okay, all right. Like.
But it's just one of those funny experiences. Like now, the more you spend in the time, you start to know all these people and everything else, and you're just sitting there telling people like, "Yeah, that's he's been doing this for a while now, my man." It just shows. I'm like, "Yep, you green. Okay, I've been there. We all done been there at some point and everything else." But yeah, that is crazy to think about. Like just your first pro show, go ahead and just clean it up and take it on home and stuff like that. Like that had to be something.
It didn't hit me until I got home. Like it was one of those things. Like if you watch the video, like I put my hands on my head as I'm walking up. I'm like, oh, all right. But it wasn't like because I hadn't been at it long enough. You see how some guys like been at it for years. They'll cry and all that. And I get it. Like because some of these guys, you meet more people that's been at it for 4+ years than you do a one and done. Shout out to Darnell. Like Darnell, like he just happened to also be a one and done. But like it's more of the 4+ years people I know than I do one and dones. And so it didn't even like, I was like, oh, I really pulled this off. But then like, it wasn't until I got on Instagram and I'm being tagged and everybody's like supporting me in the stories. And I'm like, I really came here off something I didn't care anything about a year ago. And I came and I went and turned pro in it. Like, I cared nothing about bodybuilding.
Like, I know it's not IFBB, but like that's how the IFBB Pro one went. I was like, when I got my pro card, I was just like, oh, we're doing the first show, and like I'm thinking about, well, yeah, I mean, we got GTV in a few months. I mean, this is just the first show to get us going. Like, and then like that night, it's just I'm on the way to Knoxville to go see my friends, and I'm sitting here like, oh, I mean, I won this pro card. Let's go celebrate. And I'm looking on my Instagram, somebody added me like all night long, and then it's just tag, and I was like, I guess I did something. And then we come into Olympus the next day. I don't talk to nobody. I still pretty antisocial too. But that day it was like walking in, everybody's like, "What's up, Mr. Pro? What's up, Mr. Pro?" And I'm like, "Okay, I guess this is a big deal." I was like, all right.
No, but it is a big. I don't care what anybody says about OCB, man.
It's a big deal.
Yeah. Like, because you looked like a bodybuilder. It wasn't up there. You wasn't no slouch up there. Like, you was really up there killing. And I'm like, oh man. Like, I didn't know your name at the time. I was like, I know him from Olympus. I'm like, oh, he's up here killing. I'm like, hey, good for him. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just like like people try to. I don't want to get too far off, but people try to. Discredit the natural federation and all that. Like, bro, like there's some killers over on this side.
Yeah.
What you don't understand is people that can come from this side and give you a run for your money.
Yeah.
So don't ever downplay them. Like now, some they be on some, but it's some that show up to NPC and all that.
They be on, if you thought some, at an NPC show, it's like half where it's like, all right, that's the real deal. And there's half where like, if you throw in the OCB, they can get handled with too.
You had a better chance, a better outcome. You feel better about yourself.
Right.
Yeah. It's a mixture.
Because I'll hear so many of them saying, "This is my first show at these," and I'm like, "This is not who told you this was a good idea? Did you pick it out? I hope you picked it out because I hope it wasn't your coach or something like that." Like, so many of them, like, "Oh, I want to go do this to be my first show," and I'm just like, "Why not start here, something smaller? It's gonna be more people your speed, a couple years into working out, where it's like over this way, it's like, oh, we've been doing this for years over here. Majority of the people that are in this have been doing it. They know what to come with. They know what these judges are looking for and stuff like that. I see a lot
some of these competitors are hard-headed. And I'm saying this from personal experience. Some of them, you can't tell them anything. And you're like, and for anybody that's on my team, they'll tell you, I'm honest with them. Like, I don't go to try to hurt your feelings, but I'm going to at least present to you your reality. And if you decide from there, I'm still going to do this show, then, hey, I did my job and I told you. Because I always ask, why are you competing? Are you looking to win? Is this a bucket list item? Are you just like, what are you trying to get from it? Because that lets me know what truth I need to give you. If you're saying, hey, I want to come in, I want first places, and you don't have that first place look, and you trying to do a show that you're already behind on, I'm going to at least tell you, hey, this is where you are. This is not a competitive look. If you still want to get on stage, I will prep you. But understand, the wins you're looking for are not going to happen because you're not there yet. And they respect the honesty, but that don't mean they're going to listen to it. They're like, you know what? I heard you. I'm going to prove you wrong too. Right? I heard what you said, but I'm going to do this show anyway. And at that point, I'm like, okay. I look at my phone. I'm like, all right, well, let me get to work on this plan and see what I can come up with. And, it's just... And that's why I also explain to the competitors. I'm like, bro, like when y'all go and you're not following plan and you get on stage,
don't be upset. But don't be upset when you don't have
that. But don't understand that people don't say, what did that competitor do? The first thing they say is, whose coach let them on stage like that? So my name is attached to this when I was trying to help you. Even though you knew you weren't following the plan. You knew you were cutting them corners. But they don't. A lot of competitors don't think about it. They just think about themselves and getting to the stage. Yes, I care about you because that's who I am as a person. But understand, this impacts my business too because we're in a reality where people don't want to join teams where people are getting cooked. Like it's just
you winning all these. I bet you I'm gonna hop on that winning team.
Right. Like, listen, and that's, what I try to explain to mine, especially being new in this space. Like, we really, like I said, last year was really what took off for us. I'm like, I can't come out here and have y'all, like, you know what I mean? Like, you got established coaches. You got Doug. You got whoever else is out here that's doing it. I'm new in this space, so I have to come out and I gotta let it be known we're here out the gate.
Yeah.
Because if not, they gonna look at us like, bro, like he's just one of them. He just turned pro and just started coaching. He don't know nothing about fitness. He got a pro card and became a coach. And that's how that's how it's viewed. So I try to explain to them like, hey, y'all, like when y'all do good, that yes, I want you to kill, but also understand that helps me out too.
At the end of the day, yep.
Yeah.
Most definitely. I mean, I see it all the time too. So it's like I fully get it and everything else. And it's like when people ask me when am I going to compete, I'm like, I know how much that's going to affect everybody else. I'm like, I'm not at that stage in life where I want to do this right like now. I'm like, I got too much going on, too much we're trying to grow and do. I'm like, once that gets more established, then maybe, hey, look, I'm a year or two into not working a regular job. I'm providing for myself. Then we can talk about it. You know, it's less stress. It's a lot easier. I'm like, once I remove that off me, I'm like, I know it's going to be a lot easier because I'm like, how am I going to pay for this? Oh, y'all want me at this event. Y'all want me to sponsor that. And I'm just like, I mean, yeah, I want to be a part of it, but I also got to think about, hey, you still got bills to pay. you can't just go out here and sponsor all the different shows every week and everything else. It's like, make sure the bills are paid first, and then we can start doing it. Like, we'll start with one here, we'll start with another one there, and then move up to that ladder. But I'm just like, I know how much more it affects than just me, even with my business and everything else, like coming on here talking and everything. It's like, this affects a lot more than just myself, and a lot of people nowadays just really do not be thinking about anything else but themselves. That's one of them hard things. Like, y'all know.
It is. Yeah, that's the reality. It's just like I could go on and on about it, but no, I mean, it kind of getting into this, and it also I think it helped me understand the importance of having a team. Now, Zane wanted me to mention him. Now, Zane didn't tell y'all that he was going to join the team and then decided to not join the team because I didn't have a team. He's like, oh, I want to be part of a team. I want to be with my friends. So he decided to go to Chris. What up, Chris? Like, but yeah, so Zane could have been on the team. He just, he went where his friends went. And his friend didn't even stay on that team. No disrespect to that friend, because I already know who the friend is. Right. What up, Parker? Yeah, no disrespect. I'm just saying, like, Zane wanted his mention.
There it is.
Yeah, here it is.
I've been holding off on that so long. I'm like, let me think about something else to talk about. I'm like, I'm not about to do that. Zane sent a Snapchat about 4 minutes before 4 p.m. I'm like, he know what time we getting started. That's why he Snapchatting me right now. I'm not opening until we get done.
Yeah, that's my guy, man. I love Zane, man. Like I said, I've known him since he was 17.
Yeah,
I was training him at goals. Him and his brother Yaman. Yaman made it about a month, and then it was just me and Zane at that point. Me and Zane getting after it, man. He's a good kid though, man. Like I could go on a bunch of stories about him and just his eyesight and navigating the gym and just having to save him from people. Like I it is a real thing. Like I think and I laugh when people say he's faking it.
Same.
Like, if you've ever been around Zane, you know he is not 100% dead serious.
Just like I said on his episode, he would get an Oscar right now. I would give him one right now.
If he's acting, yes, he deserves to be in somebody's movie at this moment.
If you observe him enough, you know that he's not.
No, he's not faking.
No.
Like I don't. People don't understand how many times in Golds I had to go stop other people from approaching him. Like, I'm talking like I've watched Zane go and start grabbing plates from people while they're working out. And I'm talking about like bench rack, people hopping up. Excuse me, he's a child. Like I get it, he's built like a grown man. Me and him have a similar build, but he is a child. He's a senior in high school. He didn't see you, he didn't know, he meant no harm. I'm having to give disclaimers around the gym when I'm training him. I watch him step on people. Like, we're going to the little mat. I watch him step on somebody. I'm like, Zane, you didn't see them? Nope.
Not at all.
I'm like, my apologies. He didn't see you. Like this is how I spent my sessions with Zane. And I'm like, Zane, you can't just go do that. I was like, you didn't see them there? He's like, oh. And he just kind of, and then sometimes he just like seemed like he didn't care. Like,
Right.
like,
They gonna do something about it.
Yeah.
like, I get it.
Pick on a
I'm
blind
bro,
person,
this-
right? Like it's one of them things. It's like you use it to your advantage too. I
Yeah.
see you doing it,
man, that infamous video where he flexed his arm and hit that lady in the face. I saw that video. I was like, Jesus, Zane. Like,
only
come
you,
on, man. Like, you didn't see her.
See,
at all?
I'm glad when I saw the video, I was after I got to know him.
Right.
It made it funnier.
Same.
Like,
If I didn't know this man and I saw that video,
I'm like,
just
what? Oh, come, what happened? Now that I knew him, and then I saw the video, I was like, okay, this is perfect. This is gold.
I saw it on IG and I was like, oh man, not Zane. Like he hit that poor lady in the face, and I'm just like,
anybody else.
Yeah.
dude. But yeah, that's my guy, man. Like I'm excited for his first show coming up
that's
because that's in 5 weeks. Yeah, he's gonna be a killer too,
I
man.
can't wait. It's gonna be deep.
Man, yeah, I'm rooting for Zane. I mean, of course, I don't have nobody doing bodybuilding, so it makes it easier to root for him.
Right.
It makes it even easier to root for him. But yeah, he's a good guy, man. Like, shout out to Zane.
Shout out to Zane for sure.
Oh man, so yeah,
Only do you just hold up
another
that fist
mission
bump, and
real quick.
he's just gonna keep
staring
staring.
at you. Yep, completely.
Zane.
Man, so
Zane,
many
hey
missed.
Zane, hey.
Yeah.
I always gotta go. Hit the shoulder
Real
first.
quick. Yep.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm about to head out, dog. I'm about to head out. Okay, I'll see you.
Get his attention real quick before I leave.
Most definitely. So that's about it. You know, really, most of the questions I have for you and everything. Like, so far, it's like you got it. You got the team going. So, like, what's the future hold for you? You know, like what's
As of right now, I'm 9 weeks out from my show, so I'm getting ready to do that. We got a couple people going to the nationals. We're gonna see see how it shakes out for them. You know what I mean?
Right.
You know, I like I said, for me, I started this team because I have a passion for coaching, but also again, not to be controversial, but I understood that there was a need for coaches that understand how to coach natural competitors. So that's what this all started as for me. And I think it's just, like I said, I don't get where I am without people giving me a chance. Bethany was the first one to give me a chance. Because I heard a lot of no's. Let's be clear. I think a lot of people was like, oh, bro, he turned pro, now he's a coach. Not realizing I've been personal training and doing these transformations for years. I just needed to understand what the judges were looking for and the criteria for the stage. That was the only thing I didn't understand. And then learn peak week. Because that's really, honestly, the hardest part is figuring out peaking. So once I got that, and for me, like I said, I do a lot of reading, and I kind of figured once I realized, okay, a lot of this is just simply balancing electrolytes, it became easy. Like, oh, okay, this is it. Cool. So once I figured that, I'm like, all right. So I started with Bethany. She had another coach before that. I won't get into all that. But shout out to them. And Bethany was like, will you coach me? I was like, you want me to coach you? She's like, yeah. I said, all right, let's do it. So I helped her with their transformation show out in Charlotte. And then, like I said, then I had my guy in San Antonio, and that was like 2 for 2023. And then I really don't know what kicked it off. Why? Like I think just kind of getting connected with the right people. It was just people that just believed in me. And Kay, she was supposed to have done her show earlier in the year, ended up having knee surgery, so it was like, so then we popped out at Night of Champions. And I think, like I said, the biggest thing for me, I just want people to know that when we show up, we showing up to take it all. That don't mean it's always gonna play out that way, but that means that's the plan. Like I ain't putting no slouches on stage, especially NPC stage. OCB, you can, not that I want to, but you can kind of get away with it to some regards. But like I said, we just had Natural Titan. Erica won out all 5 of her categories. Shout out to Lindsay who did her categories too. But yeah, it's just, honestly, I'm just competitive. Like people probably see like my posts and probably just like start punching air but I'm confident. Like I'm supposed to, as a coach, I'm supposed to believe in who I'm putting on stage. I don't go on stage. I don't go on IG and disrespect anybody. Right. But I am gonna hype up my people. They doing something, they got a show coming. Yeah, I'm supposed to. I'm supposed to feel like when we show up, we got a chance. Because if you don't, as a competitor, as a coach, if you don't feel like you the one,
why are you going on the stage? Yeah,
right.
exactly.
You already
You're
done
supposed
lost.
to feel like you the one. So that's my only thing for this year. Keep showing up, keep being better. If we can get a couple pro cards out the deal, so be it. But like I think the one cool thing we do have coming is Kay and her daughter are doing a show together. They're gonna do the OCB one, so that'll be a cool little mother-daughter moment. You know, I think that's cool too. But otherwise, we pulling up to Tennessee State. We gonna be there. I got a men's physique guy and what you call it, fit model. She came to me with 8 weeks. I'm like, hey, bikini's not happening. I'm like, we gonna start you here with this fit model. And if you decide after this show you wanna move up and we got the time, cool. But 8 weeks don't give me a lot of time, and Tennessee State's gonna be a big one.
Yeah, but State. Yeah,
it's gonna be right
it's
here
not.
too,
Yeah, that's not
like,
one of them shows you can come in half stepping.
Yeah,
not at all.
So I'm
I
like,
can't wait for it.
yeah. So I think I'm excited for that show altogether. But yeah, we gonna be out here in PC, Tennessee, rest of the year. Night of Champions. I got a crew coming. But yeah, it's just showing up, being our best, and handing out them L's as much as I can. I mean, look,
that's the goal.
hey, like, it's good to be competitive. Like, I think we, as people, just kind of gotten in that space where everybody's not a winner. Like, and it's cool. That's okay. Like, if you still broke top 5 in a bodybuilding category, you've done well.
Yeah.
Yes.
When you consider how many people leave empty-handed, you understand that, hey, if you still made top 5, you've done something.
Exactly.
Now, of course, the goal is always first, but that's what I always tell mine too. I'm like, bro, it's bodybuilding. Sometimes
you don't know who's gonna show up too.
You don't know who's coming. You don't know who's been on that national stage 3-4 times. You don't know. It's certain things you just don't know. So all you can do is just be your best. Follow the plan and be your best, and do your job. You got to do your job. You show up with the look. You show up and you pose better. Be good where you can be good, and you got a chance.
Exactly.
Yep.
You got to take advantage of those things. It's like these are the things that are in your control. Make sure you got them on point, and the other things you just can't control. Like who's showing up, you can't control that. You just got to show up with your best, and everything else. Don't worry about who's showing up. That's where I feel like a lot of them will get stressed out and stuff like that, and that really affects your body.
Social media, and like somebody else they hear, like, oh, I hear this person's doing it. Let me go look up. Like that's why I hate when they send out the roster or whatever.
It's a real thing because I'm competitive. I'm gonna look. Every time OCB sends a roster, I say, "Hey, send it to me." I start getting on IG, looking at who's coming. I'm just a competitive person, man. Like I have a competitive nature. I want to see. And then the other thing is, a lot of these people are like superheroes under the right lights.
Yeah.
Yup.
And then you get to see in person, you're like,
like,
all
yeah,
right,
okay,
good.
yeah.
We're
Like,
good.
and
All
that's
right.
what I try to tell them. I'm like, bro, some of them got the best lighting and all that going on. You supposed to look good under crappy lights. It's easy to look good when you in the
You got
nice
the perfect
posing
room.
and
Those
and
things
everything.
make everybody look like a star.
yeah, I'm like, you have to try hard to not look like a star.
Yeah.
Right.
So I'm like, don't get fixated on what you're seeing on IG because that person may not look like that when you see them in person.
Exactly.
Or if it's who cares what they look like 6 weeks out? It matters what you look like under them lights. Showtime.
Yeah.
Yep, that's all that matters.
Because anybody can mess up a peak week. Anybody can.
You can mess it up in 24 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It only
You,
take
by the
24,
time you
it'd be
check
12.
in, ate that
I
last
made a
meal,
lot of-
and
That second show I messed the one in Alabama. I messed it up in 24 hours.
how?
So
He already knows. So, now,
here was the
One
instructions.
show
I had
I
the instructions. I was supposed to eat this. I ate a little more than that and thought, my metabolism's gonna be good by the next morning. Because I was thinking about how OCB was. I knew I'd have the time. Man, came in at prejudging, bro. I was like, I'm not gonna lie, I'm not looking good. I texted my coach. I was like, hey, it's not looking good. He goes, what do you mean? And I was like, bro, I am bloated. Like this is not the look that I had last night.
We're just gonna blame it on this
And
the one show I didn't make it to. You
Oh,
know,
no.
it's the only show
That's what
I
I'm gonna go off
wasn't
of
there
that.
for.
It was definitely me. People were like, no, it's okay because you're natural. I was like, no, I'm telling you, like, it didn't matter. If I didn't do this, natty or not, like I was supposed to, I would have won. But I came in the morning, I was like, man, let's just see who I'm going against. So I was like, okay, let's just see who's, because I'm still thinking like, oh, well, OCB, I could have still been fine. I looked at who was in my class. I was like, and he goes, all right, so there's one guy in your class, and he's gonna be like the guy to beat. And I look and I go, we're gonna have to battle today. I was like, man, my lat spread's gonna have to be perfect. Like all my my good poses are gonna have to be good.
So what did you eat? Now that it's over with.
So
what did you eat?
Yeah.
it was like it was some like Subway sandwich or something like that. And it was like I was just supposed to get a 6-inch, and I was like, I didn't eat the whole. Okay, I ate the whole foot long, but I damn near ate the whole thing. And that next morning, I was like, oh, you know, I'll burn it off, you know. Didn't come on. And I was like,
Oh, man.
And my abs were like, that's something where that's like my abs and thigh pose, like that can set me apart because and I'm natural, so it's like I can't really. If there's poses I need to make sure like I can win that pose, it's that one.
Yeah.
So I didn't have that, and then the other reason I lost was just because like I wasn't at my glutes weren't. I didn't work my glutes as well, so like between that and Knox, I was like everything I did wrong. We're not doing that. So not anything extra, none of that. And then the whole 2 weeks was just like work on the glutes, and then Knox happened, and you know the rest is history. But
You should have won
yeah,
that.
so
That
that's
was-
where when you say like follow the plan, when you're saying, I was like, it's yeah, you can mess it up. Like,
You should have took home Knox. That man was up there sweating off his tan, couldn't hold a pose to save
okay,
it.
so when I first looked at him, I was like, okay, I see why he won. And then I saw the pictures later, I was like,
I'm just sitting there looking at him like, bro, his whole tan is coming off. Like, y'all better not pick him just because he's that much bigger. Please, don't do it. Don't.
he was it was his back was bigger than mine. At least I'm gonna go with that for like the. At least I have a reason because I don't like going with like, oh, I got screwed. And I'm just like, they ain't gonna help nobody. Like, they chose what they chose for a reason. You know, you just gotta.
And a lot of times that's not the case. These coaches just have an arrogance and they like, oh, well, he wasn't supposed to beat Mike. Yeah, them IG shots versus being in person and seeing it.
It make a difference.
You got edged out a little bit. It's okay. Like,
That's when it's tough when you know somebody when they lost and they lost, and then they're like, I got robbed. I'm like, I don't think you did.
I don't know about that. I hate to break it to you. You know I like you, right?
I'm gonna go look at them pictures again. Let's run through them again in a week. Give yourself a week. Run through them again and see if you feel the same.
Yeah.
Take your bias
Don't
out
ask
of
your
it.
parents.
Don't ask your parents.
Don't ask
Yeah.
the family.
They
Don't
always
ask
say
your
that. They always say it in the beginning, and nobody listens.
Right.
Yeah, they're like, remember your family's not the judges, and they're not your coaches. Like, and a lot of people don't listen, and I listened just because I was like, if I lose, I'd already known before they hand out the awards. Like every time I didn't get first, like if I got first, I was like, he was like, yeah. Or if he's like second, he's like. He's like, I don't know about this one. I was like, you're cutting it close. Like,
You
that's what I was
need
like.
them people that'll keep it honest with you,
Right.
Like, especially in this, in life, but
Yeah.
especially in bodybuilding, you need people that's going. Hey, you ain't got the look, you ain't there yet.
Yeah.
Then it's on you.
You got to be real. Got to be raw with these people in here. Like, come on now. You can't beat around the bush like that. But with that said, you know, I like to ask this question to everybody that comes on and everything else, you know. So I'm going to end it with that. Then I'm going to just have you let the people know where to find you and everything else. But what at the time you thought was your biggest setback but ended up being your biggest blessing?
Wow, that's a great question. I got to think on this for a second.
Go ahead. I'm like, I've had several of them from like tearing my meniscus and everything else and me relearning everything about working out, really sitting back and just like, let me actually go through these videos, watch everything, fill in as much knowledge as I possibly can about just workout, nutrition, supplements, everything else. Like I sat back because it's like, I can't do much. I can't do cardio, can't do legs and everything else. And I'm like, let me use this time to learn more, expand my knowledge on things.
I think just me not believing in myself sooner is probably my biggest setback in anything. I say that because even way back in 2016, again, I knew nothing about bodybuilding. I random at chance meet Lee Haney coming out of an old Charlie's. Like, right.
Wow.
I meet Lee Haney, and I just learned who Lee Haney was probably literally 3 months prior. I hear, come here, young man. And he calls me over. He's like, man, you got a great physique, blah, 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 blah. He's like, do you compete? I was like, nah. I don't compete. I I do personal training. He's like, well, I think you should. I was like, I'm more of a behind-the-scenes guy. Like, I really didn't. I wasn't a spotlight person. So telling me to get on stage and be in front of people with my shirt off, or at the time, maybe, I don't know. I didn't know what category I was going to do. Like, if I'm here right, yeah. Like, I don't know that that's for me. And I think that's been a lot of my thing sometimes is just like, just believing in yourself when, it just, the idea that like, okay, I could fall on my face doing this. Like, and I think that's always been my thing. Not necessarily playing it safe, but it's just like the ability to keep going even when it's not looking good. Like when the people are telling me no. 'Cause I heard a bunch of no's from people I talked to when it came to the competitive coaching. Oh, some no's. And then I saw those people join other coaches that were more established. And I was getting discouraged because I'm like, bro, like I know I can be good at this. I just need somebody to give me a chance. And once I got that chance, I ran with it. But it was just kind of getting to that place where I can believe that I can actually get this going, especially because I've been doing the training thing for so long. Like I said, I got my cert in 2010. I've had, from 2010 to 2025, just learning, getting better, doing all this stuff. And it wasn't until last year that it finally came together for me. Like I'm actually getting people I don't know that are coming to support what I'm doing. Like, okay, I want you to coach me. I've never met them a day in my life. So it's just, I think that was honestly my biggest setback. It's just me just continuing to go even when it looked ugly. It looked like it was never going to happen, and I probably just need to hang up training and just stay teaching these kids. Like that's probably that was it.
I get that. I mean, it's literally walking through the valley of shadow of death. It's like, hey, no weapon formed against me is going to prosper. It's like it might not look like we have an opportunity or a chance right now, but if you just keep going through it, it's always going to get, like the light at the end of the tunnel. Like it's always going to get better and everything else. And I'm like, that's a lot of the things. It's like, Matt, how'd you know to start this business? How you know to do all these things? It's like, I didn't think about that. I'm like, thought about everything that could go wrong. Like here I am spending all this money on all these different things. And I'm just like, I'm not going to think about that, but I'm also going to think about, what are the chances it's like it might pop off? We might get all these opportunities with different people, I'm like, after just the first couple of years of seeing the people I've met in this space and become friends with, it's like, that's more worth it. I'll take all the risk and everything else. Yes, sometimes it won't work, but at the end of the day, it's like, there's been so many times I've just sat down with so many different people or been in rooms that like people would pay millions of dollars to be in. And I'm like, I got in here for free. Like they wanted me here in this situation and stuff like that. And it's like, that's what I always remember is like, you're doing it for the reason. And for some reason it's still working out. So it's like, I got to keep going. I can't just stop even when I'm tired or thinking, oh, this is not smart. I don't have a plan B or anything else. It's like, just keep moving forward with it. And so many things just keep falling in line. But like, I enjoy this because we get to have conversations, let people tell their backstories and everything else. Like, I didn't know you've been training that long now and everything else. It's like, I'm like, oh, yeah, you've been around here and everything else. But it's like, we also get to learn other people's backstories and the things they don't get to tell about when you're just in the gym, seeing everybody all the time. It's like, you don't get to have these conversations and then you get to learn so much more about people, and it just helps grow what you're doing or a lot of things with it, I would say. So it was great having you on here. Let the people know where to find you at. Damn.
IG, IFBB Pro _big_Moss. I got the team page as well. Y'all looking for a coach. Coach by Team Moss. You can find me on those. I don't do TikTok. I'm old. I got one. I just don't use it. For my elders, I got Facebook. You can find me at IFBB Pro Big Moss. I pop up on there from time to time. I'll share some of my IG stuff over there. Otherwise, or you can find me at Olympus if I'm out in the borough, or you can find me at Iron Fit if I'm by the house in Hermitage.
There it is, or a show. You see you at a show too. You be at the shows.
Oh
as
yeah,
well,
I'm there.
And everything else. It's all good.
When you see the logo,
you see it.
Hey, or if you see the robe with the logo, just know we mean business.
Yeah. Yes, sir. We came to win. That's it. But I get the Unk status. I done got called Unk and everything else. Old head. I'm like, man, I am still in my 20s, bro. I'm 28. I'm 28.
Man.
I'm getting called Unk
disrespect
and
you like
everything else. I've just accepted it. I don't get that.
I
embraced it.
But at Olympus, they think I'm young. They think I'm 25.
Are you not?
No, I'm 30.
Are you? Oh,
He's older than me.
Yeah, but around my friends, they're all like, "Man, you old." Okay,
Yo,
yeah.
I don't know.
So-
I'm like, just because I like going to bed early don't make me old, guy.
Hey,
But hey, ain't
it
nothing
don't
wrong
take
with it.
much. And in the eyes of a kid, they swear you about 50. And I'm like,
Oh yeah.
Yo, real
Like-
quick.
I'm like, I get it. I got a little gray in here, but I'm like, I'm still in better shape. Like, especially my track kids. I had to go out and run them and show them, hey, y'all not like that.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
I'm old. Now, I'm going to pay for it when I go home. But
y'all
in
ain't
this
gonna see that.
moment, I'm
You ain't
gonna
gonna see
teach
that,
you
yeah.
something. Yeah.
I'ma
I'm
hold
going
it
to teach
down
you
while
right
we're here.
now.
You
When
gonna
I'm at
learn
home,
today.
I'm going to be crawling up the stairs. My knees hurting.
You
it's-
got to make sure they stay humble too somehow, some
yeah.
way.
Oh, yeah. Them kids, I let them kids have it. Teacher staff game, basketball.
You can't let them.
You finna get all these buckets,
Yeah.
everything. You can't, because they talk to you crazy.
Yeah,
You
they're gonna
got-
think the rest of the year they can say whatever they want. Yeah,
Yep, off at one move or something like that. But
and they all got their phones. You might go viral. You can't have none of that.
No.
can't have it.
At
Can't
all.
get cooked for nothing.
I ain't even gonna lie to you. I'm glad they ain't had no phone. I was trash last game. The most recent game we had for the end of the school year, trash. Like now, my first I've been at Smyrna Middle for 3 years. So this recent game, trash. I hope nobody recorded that. Now that first year, I was lighting them. Like you would have thought,
Yeah, where my highlight
you
tape?
would have thought I was a 3-point specialist. Like I turned it on. Then last game, I couldn't even keep the ball in my hand. Like I'm like stumbling on the court. In my defense, bro, I was up at 3 in the morning doing cardio. My carbs was low that day. Like bro, I'm fighting for my life at this point. Like I'm trying to be
happy I'm
productive. Man.
Yeah, see, that's when I knew I was ready to get a little bit more ready to start bodybuilding because I was playing McFadden. Man, I couldn't. My muscles were getting too big. You started shooting threes wide open. They start, hey, let him shoot. When you start getting that, hang it up, bro. That's when you know you need to hang it up.
time.
When they start letting you shoot, because I was like so disrespected. Because all the way up until then, I was never left open like that, and they were like, "Nah, we good." I was like,
With the hand wave off, like, all right, man, like,
Come
do
on,
we
what
got
are
to
we
fight
doing?
now? Like,
Right.
Like,
it's a
you were up.
2-point game, and I might hit this. You know what I'm saying?
Don't disrespect me like that. Like,
Yeah.
I get it. I
They're
was
like-
a little cold this game.
I didn't even play football. They're like, "Oh, here we go, the football player in here." I'm like, "Time out. All right, hey, I appreciate you trying to tell me I'm swole and all that, but relax."
You just don't know how side comment that was, bro. That was not a compliment.
Yeah, that was not a
Right,
compliment.
right.
It's a compliment anywhere else, not during the game.
They've already assumed you have no coordination. You're going to be out here just running and fouling hard. That's basically what
Hey,
they told
defense was
you.
on. Hey, defense was on Paul Blue Dort out there. Just not the jumper though. No, like I said, that thing was gone.
Still got that lockdown.
Yeah.
But man, I will close this on out. If y'all like the video, leave a comment, tap in with us, who y'all want to see next. But as always, God bless.
Right. But most of the time, people don't really realize that. A lot of people are going to sleep. A lot of people. There's a lot to sleep on, right? Maybe. It's about time we start giving people wake-up calls. So guess what? This one will be the first wake-up call. It'll be the first wake-up call. Very much if you've been sleeping, I'll make sure that you're awake. You know what I'm saying? He'll make sure